Hello ladies and gentlemen, Deja Vu here, bringing the second set of SKT1 versus KT Rolster. In the first set we saw Fantasy take down Hoja quite effectively and efficiently on match point. This game is going to be hopefully equally or more awesome, as it's Bisu and Luxury on Outsider. Outsider is a pretty balanced map in this matchup, PvZ. It's one of my favorite maps, it's very fun to play on, very fun to watch. Bisu obviously known for his versus Zerg play. It's his best matchup at something like 65% or something like that. He's something ridiculous. Actually, no, it's not his best matchup. Technically, his best matchup is against other Protoss at 69%. But still, he is the revolutionist. He is great versus Zerg. And even now, as there's sort of a pseudo matchup imbalance, or that's been created due to the Neo Sauron build, it's still Bisu is still pretty damn good. And Luxury is no slouch. I mean, he's only 55% in the matchup, but he is quite well. And you know, we say only, or I say only 55%, and that's an amazing win rate for most players. Like, for most players, just being over 50% is quite a skill because of how good all of these players are. But yeah, when you're talking about players of this caliber, you're talking about players where 55% is like the minimum acceptable rate for the top players, the top players. But Luxury's got it. Luxury is very good at this matchup, and this matchup is actually the featured on SCTGG. It's the featured face-off. Last week it was Zero versus Light, with Cyghost siding on with Zero, and the back hoe, siding with Light. I actually believed in Sonic Reaver last week, and he was correct in picking Zero over Light. This week, Sonic Reaver, I believe, is picking Bisu, and V-Ghost is picking Luxury in this week's face-off. And I'm sorry, Sonic, but I'm going to have to pick against you. I actually think Luxury is going to take this game. As good as Bisu is, I think Luxury is going to take this. And Bisu is actually going for a one-base build, and Luxury went for an overpool. Bisu going for, I believe that was a 10-12 gate. So he's going to go for early Zealot pressure. Been seeing this, I don't know if I want to say a lot, but I've seen this before. I'm pretty sure this is what Best did last week. I forget who he's playing, but I'm pretty sure this is what Best did last week. PJ did this to Effort, 9-10 gated against Effort in IF, or maybe it was a 10-12 gate, something very similar and quite cheesy. PJ actually got the win against Effort, as Effort went for, I believe he went for a 12 pool into expansion, and he just wasn't able to hold on to his expansion. But Luxury going for that overpool means that he's going to get Zerglings out a little bit earlier, and he is going to get that expansion up right now as we speak. But as he scouts this out, which it's going to be a late scout out, as his original overload went to the wrong direction. But once he sees that this is coming, once he realizes it, all he really has to do, is throw up 1 or 2 sunken colonies, and he'll be able to hold off the 2-gate push just fine. And once that happens, that really nullifies the entire 2-gate build. And at that point, Bisu is going to be then at that point, Luxury's whole goal is I've got 2 base, 2 hatch. If I can just stop you from getting your second base for a really long time, I'll really just be able to macro up a huge advantage. 3 Zealots have been produced for Bisu, and they're just trying to push out, coming out with a couple of probes as well. One of the probes actually getting picked off. And now we're going to see a second colony coming down immediately as soon as the natural expansion hatchery comes up. And Luxury is following Bisu's army as it's coming towards his base. Luxury is just tracing and going to try and pincer it in against a sunken colony, some Zerglings at home, and then also these reinforcing Zerglings. And unlike PJ versus Effort, Luxury actually has a sunken colony that's about to come up. He's going to be able to be a lot more effective than Efforts was, because Efforts just came up so late. It was just not really useful at all. And Luxury now getting the scout off that I'm sure he already knew exactly what was going on, but now he has the actual complete knowledgeable scout. And now we see a 3rd hatchery going down inside of the base for Luxury. And I don't want to say this is a mistake, but it's almost needless. It's not like he has to worry about early Corsairs or early Reaver drops or anything. He really could throw that hatchery at either the 3 or the 12 o'clock position and take another natural base pretty easily, in my opinion, because he doesn't really have too much to worry about at this point. And it does look like Bisu is going to be taking the base at the 7 o'clock position, just going to take that as a mineral only, not going to be going for the gas at all. If he skips over that mineral line and goes for the gas, obviously he won't be able to reinforce that area with any units. And Mutila's Carass could be very effective. Bisu finally getting his gas down, throwing up a Cybernetics Core, and Luxury also getting his lair. So I expect that this will turn into a Mutalisk build, and I don't know if Bisu hasn't gone for a Forge or anything, so he's not going to have cannons. I mean, he has time still to throw down a Forge and get cannons, but I don't know how effective it's really going to be. And Bisu trying to skip some units over at the 12 o'clock position. He is going to be successful here, skipping a probe and a zealot over there, and he's going to get both trying to get both the scout and maybe do some damage. But I think Luxury sees this coming. He's got well, maybe not sees this coming, but he's got a couple Zerglings over in that position. Gonna make it difficult for Bisu to really do too much damage. As soon as that comes out, he can definitely easily bring a few more Zerglings back to defend, and Bisu having a little bit of problems tricking his Zealot through, failing several times here already, and Luxury now bringing that Overlord into position. He's going to see this out, and Bisu should probably just give it up. Yeah, Bisu does just give it up. Hydra's Den is down for Luxury, so this is going to be a 3-hatch Lurker build from Luxury. Actually, Bisu came back to go, actually did end up tricking that Zealot through, also producing a Stargate as Bisu, and Luxury is not going to have too much success here. The Zealots come in, but a couple Zerglings are already there. I'm sure some